Pakistan's Gwadar Port was once envisioned as a strategic game-changer, a nightmare for India. China aimed to use this port to counter India's naval dominance in the region. But today, this strategic asset in Balochistan finds itself in turmoil. Once a humble fishing village, Gwadar belonged to the Sultanate of Oman until 1958. A 1954 U.S. Geological Survey found Gwadar ideal for a deep-water port. In 1958, Pakistan purchased it from Oman for just $3 million. For decades, Gwadar remained undeveloped. Even in the 1970s, the United States was offered the opportunity to develop it but declined. However, things changed in the 1990s as India's naval capabilities grew. Pakistan needed an alternative to existing ports like Karachi, which was vulnerable to an Indian blockade. Then, China entered the picture. In 2001, China committed $198 million to develop Gwadar. By 2006, the China Harbor Engineering Company had completed the first phase of port construction. But why was China interested in Gwadar? The vision was to transform Gwadar into a bustling city of 2 million people, with a $30 billion GDP and 1.2 million high-paying jobs. Pakistan sought to replicate China's Port Industrial Park City model, similar to Shenzhen's success. China imports around 72% of its oil, much of it passing through the vulnerable Strait of Malacca. Pakistani analysts believe Gwadar could provide a safer alternative by serving as a docking hub for Middle Eastern oil, which could then be transported overland to China. Some speculated that Gwadar could serve a dual purpose, commercial and military, a potential base for China's expanding naval presence in the Indian Ocean. But reality tells a different story. Gwadar has failed on all fronts. Economic promises remain unfulfilled. Development stalled after Phase 1 in 2006. The port lacks key facilities like an oil terminal and container berths. The estimated $600 million to $1 billion required for Phase 2 was never invested. Gwadar is isolated from Pakistan's industrial hubs, with limited road and rail connectivity. Basic utilities like water and electricity are in short supply. The region depends on power imports from Iran. Gwadar is also at the heart of a long-running insurgency. Recent militant attacks, including the hijacking of a train, highlight the instability in the region. Even Chinese nationals have been targeted. Analysts argue that Gwadar is not a viable alternative to the Malacca route. Transporting oil overland to China would require major infrastructure investments through treacherous terrain. A 2020 U.S. Naval War College study suggested Gwadar could be a logistical hub for China's Navy. But even if China seeks a naval foothold, Karachi remains its preferred option, already well-developed and operationally ready. What was meant to be a strategic nightmare for India has instead become a logistical and economic nightmare for Pakistan.